Hey you, so on this video, when will silver explode in price? I'm going to be going over that. So obviously everybody that's stacking silver, into silver, or even pro silver, has that time. What they know, what they're stacking now for so low, so cheap, is going to come into its own. You know, each person has their own scenario in their head. So I'd like to let me know what that scenario is down in the comments when you think silver will explode in price. And also, if you like what you hear and you haven't done so already, please do go ahead and subscribe. So coming off of the back of a recent silver pump, and shout out to the troll that loves texting me in the silver video I'd done. You know, he seems to love erasing his comments, but you know, he was, when silver was pumping up, he likes to scream that he's from the future and how do I like those apples, how I'm feeling. But as I was saying in the video, look, I'm pro silver. I'm into silver. I stack silver. As you can see, I have silver. I'm silver. Just don't preach to the choir when it comes to silver. I just speak my mind, you know. I'm just another silver stacker. I wouldn't say I'm ticked off. I'm not in that situation where I bought in peaks, but I do question it, and I'm, you know, questioning out loud when I do these videos. But you know, silver prices have peaked recently. Some thought it was the time. I was getting a lot of questions as to what I thought at the time when silver was really going for gold. And, you know, I was telling people, like, let's just chill. Don't do nothing irrational. What goes up comes down, you know. Silver, especially silver, in the metals game as a whole, is a roller coaster. A lot of the markets are, when we're involved in these commodity markets, whichever it is, it's never all the way up and it's never all the way down, you know. Sometimes it stays down a lot longer. Sometimes it stays down and goes sideways down. But, you know, you have your ups and your downs. Everyone knows when they're getting on and when they're getting out, and trying to time it. You know, like I've said in the past, you've got your mystics that read the charts, and those people just read the feelings and the emotions of what's going on in the environment. But, you know, it was recently trailed back a little. And so, as I was telling individuals, look, don't rush, don't panic, it's up now. I did mention in videos that I didn't believe that then was the time when we was going to be seeing a massive shoot in silver. The infamous magic number that I got from when I done a video recent asking a certain question was $25. You know, if it passed $25, we could see it start taking off from there. If it stayed below, it was nothing. It was meh, you know, nothing to write home about. And it seems to have done that. Some say, as in markets, it's a good thing. You never want it to shoot too high, as you don't know what could be causing it. It could be a bit of manipulation, you know, somewhat of a pump and dump. But, you know, it got to wherever it got to. I didn't see where we was damn near $20, wasn't we? And it's come down a little. I want it to. I wouldn't call no numbers yet. I know it will. It just has the habit of doing that. But it wasn't for me. I wasn't buying then. I'm still not personally buying. But I'm going to give a few scenarios and situations that I could see silver exploding. As I've been asked this question, I'll just give, as I always do, a couple of scenarios from what I can see silver exploding. I'd love to hear your scenarios in the comments of what you believe is going to cause. Some are, you know, the usual regurgitations that you hear that I'm going to be giving. But let me know your thoughts and opinions when it comes to that. But back to why I wasn't currently purchasing, because I don't know what's going on with the silver market right now. You know, we have Brexit. We have uncertainty. We have 1 minute we have, you know, tension out in the US and Iran and the likes of. Then it just seems like happy sailing, smooth. Nobody knows what's going on. I think a lot of the world leaders are just, you know, trying to make it as smooth as it could be for themselves. Want a smooth ride, saying what the people want to hear, but keeping everybody happy on all sides as smoothly as they can, as we're currently seeing with the whole Brexit situation. And, you know, some of the leaders seem to be changing their tune, but it's going to be what it's going to be in the end of the day, unless we go on for another 10 years trying to figure out a deal, as seems to be the situations. I'm showing off this little piece I've got here. It's the old, on the design a lot of people like, that came out, a bit of a con. These coins were the 50 pound coins. So when will silver explode? What scenario do I see it exploding? Firstly, answering the question, I'm still not buying. It's come down. And if you own, everybody has their own number that they're going to be gaining, whether they're, you know, dollar cost averaging or buying every month. If you're just in this game and you're new to stacking, I still think it's a fantastic time to be buying. I don't see the prices as ridiculous, too high, too low. I see them as good prices right now. You know, you're not going to be losing out on anything massive. Is if you bought it within the past 2 weeks, the increases and the decreases weren't too insane where you're down a massive amount, especially if you're going to be buying for the long term from now. So I don't see nothing in buying if you don't have. For myself, my game plan is still waiting. I would love more than anything, and I don't say this for the sake of it, I would love to see a massive dip. I would love that, because on both metals, because then I'll be a lot more aggressively purchasing. This whole year, I've done close to no purchases. I've purchased enough in terms of bulk foundation in silver and quite a bit of high premium gold, and it's worked out just perfect for me. But I'm still in the market. I still love the market. I still want to be doing purchases, but I think if we're going to be seeing a dip, and it's taking a dip, the dips, the sideways, let's say, seem to go on for a lot longer than any type of pump we get, then I'd sooner wait for that and gamble it from there. But I don't think, it's going to be happening anytime soon. I personally feel like we could be seeing exactly what we've got now, from now till the end of the year, and then we'll just ride it out from there. But once again, no one knows. Shadow definitely doesn't know when it comes to that. I don't think nobody else does. We're just passengers seeing how this is all playing out. But if I'm going to put a few answers to questions now as to when I see silver price exploding, it's always a how much or a when exactly. When I done a video stating my mind saying, look, it's another 10 plus years before we see it. But I'm going to give some scenarios now as to why I could see the silver price explode. So the first scenario I would say would be when the manipulation ends. Something that a lot of people say, there is a lot of truth to it. I don't fully 100% understand the manipulation, but I know it's got a lot to do with the paper market. So people are stacking silver, and they believe that once the paper manipulation ends, then silver's going to get its true price, the physical. So it's the paper that's holding back the physical, because we're being priced on the paper, not mistaken. But I always look at that and say, hey, look, if we can prove it's being manipulated and people know it's being manipulated, why are they still playing the game? A lot of the players are playing it because there's money to be made. A lot of the players are playing it because it is manipulated. It's just the way it is. A lot of people playing this manipulated game in the banking system don't want it to end. I think they've got enough power / clout where they can keep this going on forever. A lot of people said it should have ended a long time ago. You'll find many that said that it should have ended in 2000. So I could definitely see that, though. If the manipulation was to end tomorrow, I could see, as many have claimed, a correction in price. And, we could see silver's true value coming to the forefront and shooting up from there. That would most definitely be a scenario where we could see silver price explode. To what price? I've said $100 before. Anything above that, then maybe one of the other scenarios I'm about to mention. So what else could we see a massive price in silver, silver price exploding? Tinfoil, silver foil hat here now, World War III. Not to forget, at any given time in the world since, past 10 plus years, we have wars going on. There's a lot of macro wars, there's a lot of small wars going on. Crazy to think about, I've never seen one or been involved in one in my lifetime, but there are wars constantly going on in the world. Not as massive a scale, not as life threatening where you've got nukes and that dropping, but there's constantly wars going on. I believe a big enough war, World War III, of course involving superpowers, any of those in the nuke club, but the main players would be America. So, it could easily be an East versus West. The players on the table, if you had a combination where people were putting their powerhouses up front, America, of course, Iran would have to be protecting themselves. So you'd get Russia joining in, and also China. A situation like that, where then you'd have UK up front, France, and all the likes of. You get a scenario where you've got a big war. That's the big players' war, the superpowers up front. Then, because a lot of the wars that are currently going on, people's sentiment doesn't seem to be, that shaky no more. People have become a lot more desensitized, or money's become a bit more secure at what they've been able to do when scenarios should have gone kaput, when they should have lost all of their bank, and that didn't happen. So I feel people are more secure now. So it would take something truly groundbreaking or ground shaking to really get the masses scared and want to go buy physical. A lot of the time when they take their money out, they usually go into paper because it's a lot more easy. You don't want to see somebody taking their savings out and, I don't know, putting 6 figures down on physical, and then things smoothing out and then them selling the physical, who knows, but a lot of times they're going to paper. But for them to have zero trust and want them funds out, I think a World War III scenario where you're looking at the big players in the East and the big players in the West, that could most definitely see a silver price explode. Outside of that, whenever we're hearing upsets or shake-ins or something going on out in the background these days, it doesn't seem to have the same effect that it once upon a time would have. And a dealer said that to me once, which was interesting. They had queues going around the block once upon a time. I can't remember what war it was, but these days people just seem to be extremely desensitized. I don't know if that's all these beheadings going on, or just smartphones where people have been sent more gore clips. Shout out to whoever who sends me these kind of crazy clips. So another scenario where I could see silver price explode would be global awareness. You know, tomorrow, 7 out of 10 people wake up and they hear Rich Dad screaming trash is cash and, you know, buy silver. They come across Mike Maloney's videos and, you know, $50,000 an ounce, even though he's more reasonable now. And then they fall upon Chris Dwayne's material, screaming silver, silver. You know, a Roman soldier was paid a fraction of a fraction for a day's work. And everybody and their mother goes out and starts buying the physical stuff. Of course, that's a fantastic scenario. I would say liken it to the crypto explosion. It happened. These things happen. New kid on the block and everybody flocks towards it. So if you imagine that same scenario, switched it around and on silver, let's just focus on silver today. Tomorrow people woke up and silver was the talk of the town. Of course you're gonna need your cheerleaders really pumping this stuff and to get the masses on board and marching to that tune, but it's possible. You know, global awareness, people going out buying up the physical where there's none available, and then, you know, the price increases because it becomes harder and harder to obtain. These are the top 3 scenarios that right now I could see having a silver price explosion. Which ones are plausible? Which do you see happening? You know, manipulation ending anytime soon. What time frame would you put on that? 1 to 10 years, or can they keep this manipulation going on forever? World War III, when do you see that happening? Do you see a lot of flash dancing? You know, a lot of psych, you know, one way, left way, and then in the background, they know they've got a lot riding on this, so it's best that everybody just behaves themselves and they keep this merry-go-round going on forever. Do you see a World War III happening anytime soon? Or global awareness? Do you see people waking up one day and the talk of the town is silver? You know, all these social influencers and the likes of a screaming silver, silver, silver. It's all about silver. Got silver, got silver. Same way it happened with Bitcoin and the big rush like that. So what do you see triggering, you know, the next massive silver explosion? The 3 examples I gave there, which one do you put back or see happen anytime soon if there's going to be a time frame? So that's the whole purpose of this video, just laying that out there. And also would love to hear your theories or scenarios that you believe are going to see silver exploding on the next massive spike up. So hey, I love it, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Once again, if you haven't done so already, it'd be fantastic if you went ahead and subscribed, and I'll catch you guys on the rebound.